I want to talk about toxic responsibility culture. And you might be thinking, Ben, what does this have to do with climate change? I'm glad you asked. Toxic responsibility culture is actually inherently very closely linked with the fight against climate change because we know from data that 100 corporations worldwide are generating 70% of carbon emissions, right? So we know that the solution is within these 100 companies. We know that the problem is being generated by these 100 companies. However, when people talk about things that you can do to fight climate change, what do you typically hear? You hear drive to work less, take public transportation, don't eat meat, adopt a vegan diet, um, pick up trash. That one's not as much anymore. But you get the idea, right? There are lots of people out there who say, "Oh, you can make a difference. You should recycle. You should do this. You should do that." But the truth is, even if every human being on Earth does that, we're not going to, we're not going to end up in a world where there is no climate change because the profit motive is actually what is killing the planet. And it's true. So the fact that the planet is being exploited for an extra buck and no one cares that the planet's slowly dying, it's like, oh, profits, 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 growth, 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 resources, 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 we're going to run out eventually. And while the companies run away with all the money, they point their finger at you in ad campaigns and PR campaigns. You can save the planet. I hate to break it to you, man. You can't. You individually, you watching this, me, everyone unless you're the CEO of a multinational corporation, unless you're a multinational corporation CEO and you're watching this, which, hi, welcome, glad to have you, kind of. Anyway, unless you're one of those people, save the Earth. And, well, it's not even save the Earth. I have to remind myself that that's propaganda too. Earth will be fine. We will be fucked to save humanity, right? So unless you are one of the big wigs at these companies, you can't change the world in that way, which sucks. But you should remember that when people are telling you, oh, you should do this in your life, you should do this in your life, and people shaming other people for not taking these very to do going to fix climate change or change the Earth. They're just not going to. The data is out there. It's very obvious. We need to change the industries, and we are very unlikely to be able to do that as individual consumers. By the way, even working together, right? Even collectives, unlikely to do this. We need real regulation. We need real reform. And reform probably isn't even strong enough, right? We need a fundamental shifting of the system to create sustainable systems. Sustainable individuals will only get you so far, and it just won't be enough. And by the way, sustainability is going to look different in different places. It's going to cost different amounts, right? It can be very expensive to be sustainable, and people are milking that for cash, right? It's not necessarily always the case that the people who are claiming they can make you sustainable are good eggs themselves. So this culture of telling you that you can save the Earth if you just change your life in these ways, if you just revolutionize the way that you do everything, sure, you can. It's just not true. And this is what toxic responsibility culture is. And you can take any issue. I'm just using climate change because we were just talking about it. But, a lot of the issues we see in our lives are systemic issues. They're issues, systems ingrained in law, ingrained in the way that we do things as a society. So telling an individual to change their individual behavior to, society does something is just kind of silly, and it's toxic because that shaming of people isn't helpful for them, and it isn't helpful for the cause either. So the purpose of the segment really is to just teach you what toxic responsibility culture is, because I think it's important that we know about it. And again, I'm kind of priming you here, right? I'm telling you that when you hear, hey, you should do such and such to change large systemic issue, unless that thing is direct activism, or protest, riot, revolution, you're or organizing, right? Organizing can help too, but you're probably not going to change these on your own. So don't let people shame you with toxic responsibility culture, but also there are ways as an individual you can help change the system, but just don't think that by switching your diet or whatever you're gonna change it on its own. So a little bit of conflicting advice at the end there, but hopefully I explained my point well enough and you get what I'm saying.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, throw a like on it, share with your friends, and subscribe for more of our content. You can also find all of our videos and clips on youtube.com. Just search Let Them Eat Bread and you'll find all of our content. Alright guys, see you next time. Bye for now.